Hi, good afternoon. It's June from maverickstar. I knew this was going to happen, and you know what? I've had a lot of comments like this today based on the video that we've done this morning, and I'll just read out this comment. You know, Gene, I've watched your videos on the pole shift position for years. I feel it, at a time like this, the fact that you are going to no longer show the pole position on here makes you nothing more than another grubber. I'm sure he says grabber, but YouTube paid for your observatory, now you're leaving us out. A lot of people can't afford $5 a month. I'm very disappointed in you, Gene. I thought you were better than this. You know what? I could have charged $20, $15, $10. I didn't. There is a minimum on Patreon, which is $5, and that's what I've set the membership at. And for over a decade now, and I know some of you have followed me for over a decade, we have pushed everything as far as we could. And people like this obviously have been watching us for years and never chipped in a single coin. It's obvious from his description that now, because after watching me for 4 or 5 years, you know, I've asked him for $5 for the latest pole position, you know, he's upset. That is ridiculous. $5 is nothing in this world, and you and I know that. You can't buy a decent cup of coffee for $5. You know, if the $5, by the way, that is on Patreon is converted into sterling, it's less than, I don't know, it's about £4.15p, which is pocket change. And that's ridiculous, because you know what, it took me 2 years to write the TriMag program for it to work. You know, there were days I almost threw up literally at the computer because I had to teach myself programming. These people don't understand this. They just take everything for granted. They are taking things for nothing and giving nothing back in return. You know what? $5 is nothing these days. You can't make a difference in your life with $5. You know that. I know that. Well, let's get real, right? What I've tried to do is avoid the, you know, YouTube interference. You know, obviously we're being throttled down. You know, they're unsubscribing people, and this is no longer a platform for truth. Just as TikTok was yesterday, that is about to get banned, and Elon Musk, which sacrificed billions of pounds buying Twitter so that he could clean it up, is going to get kicked soon. You people, you know, I'm not accusing you all of being the same as this guy, but you know what, $5 for information on a relevant topic like the magnetic pole reversal, information that is never covered in the social media or mainstream media or legacy media, whatever you want to call it, never covered in it. $5 is nothing. But when a lot of people put $5 in there, that can mean something. That can mean, you know, we can keep our observatory ticking over on the bare essentials. I don't think people understand. We have been targeted by YouTube, and we lost 80% of the revenue that we raise in order for us to keep you informed. You know what? If YouTube or whoever it was never targeted us, we would be delivering it as we was 6 months ago. But we can't do that now. You know, there have been new laws passed and legislation that, you know, can deem anybody as delivering misinformation, and therefore they can be victimised for that. And we are being victimised. I don't think people realise what's going on in the world. I really don't. You know what? We've got somebody in this country that has never been tried in a court with a jury and found guilty, but he has been imprisoned. And you know what? We've not heard nothing since nearly a month ago what his fate is. Is he going to be extradited back to the United States? Of course I'm talking about Julian Assange. His only crime was doing his job as a reporter and reporting. That's what he reported on. He exposed the United States government and intelligence departments for being wrong. That's all. You know what? We all seen what they did in that Apache helicopter in Iraq. Shoot and kill and murder. That's the main thing. And murder people that were innocent. He's never been found guilty of anything, and yet he's spent 5+ years in Belmarsh prison here in the UK. And the judges are that frightened to make the verdict because of the protesters that they have withheld their verdict, which is unprecedented. Unprecedented. You know what? Usually in the UK, you are only guilty when you are found guilty, and only eligible for persecution after being found guilty. And he hasn't. Not only that, we allow people to come into this country that make claims for every other reason so that they can claim asylum without sometimes solid evidence proof. But we have heard the CIA director, openly and in public admit that yes, there was plots to kidnap Julian Assange out of the Colombian embassy in London, and not only that, kill him. If ever there was a claim for asylum in this country to protect somebody's life, that was the case. We're about to see him extradited if he hasn't already, because there is a big silence. And everybody is just sitting here waiting for what is the verdict. But I will guarantee you now, he will be extradited. Because we live in a crooked and broken, buckled system where people complain about $5 $5, and you don't want no longer to get your magnetic pole positioning for that, the sake of $5. You don't want to support our observatory that went out for 2 years to program a TriMag system because we simply could not lay down £250,000 and pay a company to build it for us. We had to go the long way around it. If this guy's angry, can you imagine the level of anger on my end? Having to put up with all this on a daily basis just so that I can relay the truth about a scientific anomaly that is taking place in our life. A rare anomaly that has not happened for 780,000 years. And I'm being targeted like this. I've been proven, and I've proven myself right on a multiple scale. Yeah. Now I've picked up some horrible, ugly people that have found out my email address and regularly get abuse through them emails. What's my only crime? Trying to inform people. You know what? What's my only crime? Trying to keep what I have done for over nearly a decade and a half. Keep it running. And we've got little girls like this moaning about $5. Breaks my heart is the only thing I can say. I am so disappointed in you people because I think you fail to realise something. That the magnetic pole reversal is a real anomaly that is taking place right now. You want answers to why the climate is changing? I think we've answered that for you. You want answers to the truth about CO2 and climate change? We've answered that for you. We are doing the responsible thing here at this observatory, and that is monitoring, the magnetic field in whatever region we can get our equipment into. And we've had it in Australia, China, Arizona. We still have it in Canada. It's hard to find reliable people like Kendall. It really is. And you know what? If you are getting beaten more than one of those pinanas, then you are going to do exactly what I did. You are going to look for some safety platform such as Patreon to conduct your business. And you know what? If people cannot support you with even $5, then you know what? Good luck to them. You know what? If they, even as this guy has demonstrated, clearly falling out with me over $5, it's an amazement. You watch someone for 4 years, and because they ask you for $5 a month, you fall out with them. It's just ridiculous. You know what? We are getting people come over from YouTube onto Patreon. Those people will benefit in the next couple of days in enjoying the latest magnetic pole position. And it's only going to cost them $5 a month. They're going to get 2 notifications a month, as well as the Earth Alpha at a glance. That's pretty much where we use all our equipment to bring to you the data. You know what? If you want to fall out with me over $5, I need you right now to look in the mirror and ask yourself a serious question. Are you a good person? Or are you a rotter? Simple as that. $5 is nothing. It's the least membership fee I could find on that platform, Patreon. The least. And yet we've got people busting my balls as though I've asked them for $5,000. You know what? Ask yourselves, what do you pay your tax people? What do you pay your government in tax a year? It ain't $5. You would love it to be. You know what? We've got 151 patrons at the moment. I know that is going to significantly rise because, you know what, it's just common sense. $5 is not a lot, but we're relying on a lot of people joining. And it can make up something. And we can take this, maybe, you know what, I can't see this happening, to be honest, for the next 12 months. I could be surprised. But, you know what, maybe we can take it to the next level. You know what, not only are we keeping track of these things for you, with anomalies that are taking place, earthly related, we are also trying to find a solution to generating, energy for you guys on the cheap. And we might not be too far away from that. I've always achieved a lot with a little. You wouldn't have your Trimag system if that was not the case. And you wouldn't have the magnetometers that have been programmed by me, or the muon detectors, if it weren't for me. So the choice is yours, simple as that. You know what? Join this bigot in his pathetic claim that, you know what, I've watched you for 4 years, you've asked me $5, to join Patreon, and it's way too much. Oh my God. It's ridiculous. That's all I've got to say.